Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Walks in Wall Street. Tonight we are going to be talking about the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield had one of its worst weeks in its history. The 10-year yield bouncing up against 1.7%. We are also going to be talking about today's price action in the stock market. We had a lot of high beta growth stocks catching a pretty nice bid into the close, so we're going to talk about that and more on the stream. A quick update for the Behind the Street newsletter that is written by myself. I just sent it out to everybody, so please check your emails and you should have a copy of the Behind the Street newsletter, the 10th edition, in your inbox. And if you'd like to sign up for the Behind the Street newsletter, feel free to check the link in the description. Hey, I see Sally here, Teresa's here. 007 says, greetings from frosty Northeast. JL is here and Matthew P. What is going on? Oh, hold on one second, guys. I have to do one thing. Alrighty, there we go. We should be good. So everybody, I wanted to start the stream from here because I wanted to show everybody the brand new mobile COVID testing center, which is going to be right here in downtown Miami, right next to or right behind the FTX Arena. And the FTX Arena is where the Miami Heat play basketball. And this is now turned into a mobile health unit where I think people can get vaccinations and things like that. So it's kind of cool to see. I think they just set it up. Hey, Sammy Pay says, hi, Tom. JL is here. Paul Greenwell, what is going on, Paul? Always good to see you. I hope you're enjoying your day. Marilyn says, when you say hello to everyone, it reminds me of school checking in attendance. It kind of does. Good to see you, Marilyn. Marilyn is here. Alex is here. Says, for some reason, there are a lot of recent videos on economy crash or stock market crash. Haven't seen them, or is there any truth to this? So we'll talk about that today, Alex. I think there's one piece of price action I really wanted to talk about and zone in on, and that is the price action in a lot of the growth stocks today. There was something pretty interesting that we usually see when markets are getting close to a bottom, and that is on Monday you will have the markets gap down, flush everybody out, and then rally hard into the close. And that's what we saw today. We saw a lot of price action where stocks were getting hit very early on in the day. But we did have a nice volume pickup into the close, or as they call it, power hour, from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And stocks actually closed pretty positive, but this does not mean we are out of the woods yet. Hey, Rock Band 5 Million is here. Says, hi, Tom. Looking forward to tonight's stream. Good to see you, Rock Band. Hope you had a good Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Matthew P says, hit that like button, folks. What's up, Matthew P? Asia Unscripted is here. Says, good evening. Solo 401, it's good to see you, my friend. And Paul Greenwell. Indeed, it was good to see you on Lady O's stream last night. Charlie Richardson says, gorgeous night as usual. Just let me put away my laptop, guys, and then we will continue on the stream. So we are going to be walking to the Riverwalk tonight. We're going to be checking it out. Sally says, hi. Roy S is here. Two Wheel Pines. So what's up, Tom? Hope you're doing good. I'm doing very well. Roy S is here. Good to see you. Yeah, Roy S, pretty windy night here. And so crazy story that happened. So I took a trip to the Apple store. I booked my appointment to pick up my adapter for the mic. And when I got there, they told me, oops, we're all sold out. So it appears that the Apple store is all sold out of the little dongles that go into the headphone jack, which is quite bizarre. But the guy assured me that if I come back tomorrow, I will be able to get seen and just buy a little dongle. So it's been quite the cluster here. But here's a beautiful view of downtown Miami. This building right here is my favorite by far. And the one on the far left, I believe, is the Paramount building, which we are going to take a little walk by today. Vinny Castellano is here. Says, the wife and I wish you the best. Thank you, Vinny Castellano. So Vinny is joining us from Staten Island, and he was actually asking us about Zoom Info, which is a enterprise software company that specializes in lead generation. And Zoom Info, right on the opening bell today, had a big gap down. but rallied hard into the close on higher than normal volume, which is a good sign, but it doesn't mean we are out of the woods just yet. But this is the type of price action you want to see near market bottoms. Andrew Lee says, enjoy Miami. Good to see you, Andrew Lee. Parag C says, good. Andrew Lee says, what's up from freezing New York City? What is the weather in New York City, everybody? Is it like 23 degrees or something like that? Gino says, happy New Year from Chile. Welcome everybody from Chile. 007 says, AMD and NVIDIA bounced off their support trend lines. Yeah, they did. They did. Otto is here. What's up, Otto? Marilyn says, I think you'll hit 10K subscribers this month. That would be insane. That would be really, really crazy. And I see Ken from Melville, New York. What is up, Ken? Marilyn says, did you hear about the Bronx fire, Tom? I did. That is absolutely horrible and so tragic. My heart goes out to anybody who is affected by the fire in the Bronx, which I believe, unfortunately, took the life of about 19 people. Really unfortunate. Hey, John L says, agreed on market action. Long tail on daily candle is always bullish. Yeah, so what John L is talking about, and we haven't really covered this much. Ooh, you guys, check out everybody fishing. So I was actually watching, before streaming, you could actually see some dolphins jumping out of the water, which was really cool. That's why I'm going to try to stream during the day when it's light out, and you guys could actually see some dolphins jumping in and out of the water, which is awesome. So just to quick recap, I sent everybody the Behind the Street newsletter. It is out. This week's newsletter is going to be a little bit different. Usually in the newsletter, we talk about the global macro picture. We talk about fundamentals. But in this newsletter, I thought I'd switch it up just a little bit and really go into a deep dive analyzing some technical analysis in the markets. Ooh, you all right? So analyzing some technical analysis in the markets, which I think is important to look at as well. So just keep in mind, if the newsletter looks a little bit different and is a little bit funky to read, we do go in detail to some technicals and we look at some specific stocks that I highlight and go into some market outlook. So be on the lookout for that as everybody's here fishing. Hey, NG says hello, everybody. Celine says hi. Good to see you, Celine. Colin Matt says from Yellowknife. Hello from Yellowknife. So this is the view from behind the FTX Arena here in downtown Miami. Very beautiful. Great walk. How are you? Good to see you. John L says, Powell uncertainty may keep a lid on any rally. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we are going to hear from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell later this week. Leah is here, says, hi, Tom. Another night in paradise. Miami is absolutely beautiful. It definitely is a beautiful night. Take a look at these palm trees here and look at the clouds. Really, really nice. Theresa says, hey Tom, how do you get the newsletters? So I'm going to leave a link in the description where everybody can sign up for the newsletter. But if you type !news, NEWS in the chat, it will drop the link to the newsletter. And every week it will be set out. Michael says, Brickell tour again. We may not make it to the Brickell tonight. What I want to do is walk over here and do the loop around, I believe it's called the River Walk. We're going to see some really nice views. And maybe we could even see some dolphins jumping out of the water. John L says, very nice city. Good to see you, Theresa. Two Wheel Pines says, I think he is here. Colin is here. Life Beautiful is here. What is going on, Life Beautiful? Love that username. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. NNB 045 says it's going to be negative 30 degrees Celsius tonight in Montreal. Ooh. NNB 045. We definitely have to get you down to Miami as soon as possible. So I'll give you guys one more view of the skyline before we walk down. Hey, I see Estelle is here. What is up, Estelle? What's going on? Good to see you. Estelle is joining us from the great country of Australia. So very cool. Rosie is here. All out Rosie. Lena Sandoval is here. Michael is here. Samuel. What is going on, Samuel? It is about 77 degrees. Sammy Pay is here. I think I saw Joey too. And Jared Covey is here. What's up, Jared? Vinny Castellano. Looks like we got a full house tonight. Alex says, saw the stream yesterday, Tom, and it seems like those guys that came up to you had very strong personalities. How do you handle that in your line of work? Does it affect your confidence? Not really. I just think it was Sunday night, and Sunday night football, there's a lot of alcohol involved in that. So I think people are just partying, hanging out, having fun. Hey, Sunshine, New York. Good to see you. Says, hello, Tom. So nice to see our favorite place. Good to see you, Sunshine. And Jess is here. I see Jess says hi. Toronto Props says, hi, Tom. Here every night. Love your walks and great conversation. Well, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Hey, Rajesh is here. Says, Riverwalk is beautiful. Miami is my favorite place. It's definitely one of my favorite places, for sure. Between New York and Miami is the best of both worlds, in my view. Jackie Jackson says, hey, Tom and everybody, beautiful pictures as usual. Sam Pod says, that is pretty. Good to see you, Sam Pod. Good to see you, Rajesh. Jamie says, not as windy today. Yeah, I mean, the wind died down a little bit. I think it was really windy in Miami because we had a little bit of a storm pass through. It was raining like crazy on and off all weekend. But overall, really nice weather. Francisco GM says, hi, Tom. Have a great evening. For you from Chile, from Jessica and Javiera. What's up, Francisco GM? This is Canada. Says, where is AOC? Yeah, so I do believe Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was vacationing down here. So I hope she had a good time. Moon FXR says, hello. What's up, Moon FXR? Estelle says, I'm just chilling in Queensland. Very cool. Jonathan Francis here as always says, good evening, Tom. Well, I hope everybody had a good start to the week. It is Monday. It is back to work. I really consider this week the first real week where everybody's back in the office, right? And especially thinking about Wall Street, a lot of the traders are back in the office. And when I mean office, I don't really mean physical office, because a lot of investment banks are actually telling their employees to work remote now, which is a little bit crazy once again. But this is when everybody's back to business. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today, well, there's going to really be two main topics. Number one is we really need to keep our eye on that 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. And I know we talk about it a lot on the stream that it's important to watch that 10-year Treasury yield because it affects stock prices and all that, but it also affects corporate borrowing, right? So a lot of people don't realize, but big corporate entities borrow money to reinvest in their business, to, make expansions. And when rates go up, there's less resources for them to do that. So in this rising interest rate environment, I believe the 10-year yield had its worst week ever in a very, very long time. Last week, we have yields coming up to about 1.7%. And that is the highest yield on that 10-year Treasury note that we've had since, well, I think March of 2021. So we have to keep our eye on that. And another thing is, what a lot of people don't understand is that 10-year Treasury yield, it really also affects mortgage rates too. So if we're thinking about the housing market, obviously during the pandemic, the housing market has been on fire. So let's see how it plays out. I was reading an article about Rocket Mortgage, which is now the largest mortgage lender, one of them in the United States, and they are issuing a warning saying that as interest rates creep up, I believe the 30-year mortgage now is about 3.22%, which is the highest it is in a long time, and that's not even high. So I guess we'll have to see how that plays out. And I wanted to ask everybody, what are you guys seeing in your day-to-day life in the housing markets where you are? Are things starting to calm down? What are you seeing? Are you thinking about listing your homes on the market? Sort of what is going on? Hey, Jamie Massetti says, U.S. interest rates rise could hit vulnerable countries, IMF warns. Yeah, I think you're right too. CA is here. What's up, CA? Michael says, long live Lehman Brothers. Oh my God. Two-wheel L Freedom says, bearish market makes me buy more dips. Yeah, so two-wheel Freedom, I think you have a good point there. And it seems like a lot of institutional buying was actually taking place today. on Wall Street. And there's something called a gap down, rally hard into the open. And that's exactly what we saw today across a lot of the growth stocks. So maybe institutions are just starting to nibble and get their feet wet on growth stocks again. Hey, Blade Runner says, I think our economy is only surviving because of the Fed. I have to agree with you 100%. I think the Federal Reserve has created so much stimulus and has created a massive, massive debt monster in the United States that I think it's going to be very difficult for them to unwind this whole mess. NYC Rich is here, says, what's up, Tom? What's up, NYC Rich? Good to see you. Jonathan France says, Northern New Jersey is super hot right now still. Yeah, so Jonathan France, I could speak for Long Island a little bit because one of my good friends is actually looking to buy a home in the Merrick, New York area. And I think he just put in an offer on a house. And he put in an offer of $25,000 over asking. And I've pleaded with him. I'm like, don't do that. Don't participate in that game. But it seems like a lot of novice and naive first-time home buyers are getting caught up in the hype, which is really, really bizarre still. John L. says, some REIT bought at high-rise 400-unit apartment building in Tampa last week for $500,000 a unit. Whoa, that's a lot. Sam Pod says, housing market in Canada is still red hot. Optimus Prime says U.S. national debt is $30 trillion. Good to see you, Optimus Prime. I always like looking at this apartment building because you could see directly into people's apartments and it looks really beautiful. Hey, Mirage is here. Oh, Minraj. Hey, Minraj. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Estelle says extremely high prices in the Australian housing market right now. ACO says, do you see the NQ trending lower? So the NQ is the ticker symbol for the NASDAQ futures. And I think we could still have a little bit lower to go, but judging by today's price action, we actually saw a lot of volume pour into some of the higher beta growth names, which is a good sign. I'm not saying the market is bottomed, but usually when you see those gap down, rally hard into the closes on a Monday, that usually is a signal for some sort of short-term bottom in the market. Jay says Arizona is wild for houses right now. Yeah, Jay, I heard about that too. We actually just covered on a previous stream that one of the hottest housing markets in America was Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm not sure what market you are in Arizona, but Phoenix is supposedly super red hot right now. Jonathan France says, I like the High Line. So I'll give you guys a quick view before we head over to the Riverwalk of the Freedom Tower in downtown Miami. Hey, Dashford says, love this live, Tom. Thank you. Hey, thank you for joining. I appreciate that. Sammy Pay says, Arizona, Texas, and Florida are the housing market winners. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have been relocating to places like Dallas, Texas, things like that, for sure. Hey, Michael says, we'll watch The Big Short tonight. That is a great movie that covers the 2008 financial crisis. Leah says, thumbs up for Tom. What's going on? Javier is here. What's up, Javier Castro? Two Wheel Freedom says, that water next to you needs lighting. Looks like a black oil slick. Oh my God. Hassan Terrell is here. What's up, Hassan? Jamie Massetti says they have a Freedom Tower in Spain, the original one. Very cool. So we'll walk a little bit down here because I want to show you guys the view of this building. I think it's One Museum Mile or something like that. I'm still learning all the names of the buildings here. Hey, Melee is here, says hi everybody. Buy the book, says Tom, in San Diego housing market is hot with no signs of slowing down. Daniel G says hi Tom, good night, how are you? I am doing very well, Daniel G. So by the book, and I can't really speak for California, but maybe you can shed some insight for the chat here. In California, a lot of people that I've been talking to there say that one of the main reasons that housing prices are so insane in California is because there's a lot of bureaucracy that gets in the way for single-family home builders to actually build new homes. So there's actually a massive shortage of homes in California, mainly due to egregious rules and regulations. So now we are looking at the Paramount building. Melee, it's good to see you. Jonathan Francis, thank the work from home market. Yeah, that probably has a lot to do with it. Minraj, his crypto is down tonight. Yeah, I think Bitcoin has just breached below 40,000, I think, for the first time in a long time. Colin says, try Vancouver. Just to get a normal-sized house in the city is over $1.5 million in Vancouver, Canada. That is wild. I did not know that. Ottos is here in Vancouver, British Columbia. The real estate market is running hot. Sam says, they say the new trend is parents are buying homes for their kids as investments, but some say this is a bad thing. Hey, Joyce Carter is here. What's up, Joyce? So here's what I think. I think that America in general is turning into a renter nation, because especially during the pandemic, what we've seen are a lot of big institutional investors coming into the market, taking advantage of low interest rates and actually acquiring single-family homes, multifamily real estate, and they're using these single-family homes as rentals, right? So if you think about the average family, maybe you're just married, you have a couple kids and a dog, and you want to buy your first home, a lot of them, number one, they're just getting priced out of the market because institutions and other well-capitalized investors can just go in there and take advantage of extremely low interest rates, put 3% down on the property, leverage the hell out of it, and then just rent it out. So I think that's one issue, but I think the main issue, or the bigger overarching issue here, has been rules and regulations about new home building. Because as of right now, there is a shortage of single-family homes in America that are for sale because people do not want to move during a pandemic. So I believe this is the One Museum Mile building. Really, really unique building. Milo Music is here. What is going on, Milo Music? Good to see you. Francisco GM says, it seems a very nice evening in Miami. The weather, I think, is great. It definitely is beautiful here. Today, I was walking around. It was a high of 79 degrees and sunny. Very beautiful. Hey, Rich Gordon is here. What's up, Rich? Says, what was your reaction when you heard that President presented as a U.S. currency controller? Did President offered pro-North Korean style communists on such position? You got to rephrase that. I apologize. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Buy the book says people are moving from the Bay Area. Also, there's not enough inventory to support the demand in California. I think you're right. Hey, Ruby Falcone says the housing crunch here in Central California has increased our rent price even more. People renting until a home available for purchase. Yeah, Ruby, I think that's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. I think that the shortage of homes on the market is driving rental prices up because, you know, if you can't find a place to buy and there's a shortage of homes, the landlords can really raise the rent to whatever they want. Hey, Peter Webley says LA County has mostly single-family homes and people working from home want a house with a pool and warm weather. Yeah, and they're probably also looking for more space, right? So if everybody is working from home and you have a couple kids, they're probably moving out of big cities into the suburbs. I know for a fact a lot of people have been moving out of the island of Manhattan to suburbs local to New York, such as New Jersey, maybe parts of Connecticut, as well as Long Island, because they want, a house with some space, maybe an office. So I definitely think that the work from home trend has also fueled this single family housing boom. I think you're right. You make a good point. Hey, Diane Vance is here in Phoenix, Arizona market. When real estate prices inflate, people sell the homes they are living in to capture their equity. Yeah, I think that's what many people do, but what we've actually been seeing due to the pandemic is that many people, even though that they can sell their homes for a very, very hefty profit, they're not selling them. I was talking to a very, very good friend of mine the other day. He owns a home on Long Island, and I think he could sell it for about a $200,000 profit. But he's not going to. And he told me, he's like, hey, Tom, why would I sell my home now? Yeah, I may make $200,000 as profit, but what am I going to do? I'm going to have to go right back into this insane housing market where everybody has 15 bids or 15 offers on each house. I'm just going to have to go right back into the market and overpay for a home. So a lot of people are just staying put. So it's a really weird conundrum we have going on in the market. Diane Vance says they no longer afford the new purchase price, so they rent. Silly cycle. Very intriguing cycle. Jonathan Francis, that happens everywhere with the 1031 exchange. Yeah, so the 1031 exchange is really a blessing to kick the taxes down the road. So if I could sell my property and roll the profits into another deal, I can defer those taxes into the future for sure. Very good point, Jonathan. Yes, Sam Pod says it's a no-win situation. Alex says, Ayo, what's up? My name is Bob. Shout out to you. What's up, Alex? Thank you for joining the stream. Ron is here, says hello, Tom. What's up, Ron? Sam Pod says, Tom, you're right. Many people don't want to move due to shortage. It's like that in Canada. Yeah, so even if you could sell your property, it's like, where are you going to go? You have to go right back into the market and try to look for something to buy. This is one of my favorite buildings in downtown Miami, where you're going to walk right under it. Usually they have some pretty cool cars and interesting things right out front. Hey, VV, says Tom, that building is called 1000 Museum, and David Beckham has an apartment there. Yeah, so I heard about that. And I was watching some YouTube videos, and it seems like the apartments are absolutely breathtaking in there. Buy the Book says, Tom, in San Diego, the price of a decent home is near $1 million. Whew. Rentals are also expensive. Big demand for rentals as people cannot afford to buy. Really terrible situation. It seems like it. It seems like it, and that's why, hopefully, I was reading an article today, and they were speculating that should interest rates go up, should the Federal Reserve actually start to raise rates, and we had this little bit of a bond sell-off, hopefully interest rates will actually go up to sort of put a lid on this crazy housing market that we've been having. Because we need to understand that the 10-year yield is really the driver of mortgage rates. So as we know, bond prices move in the inverse of yields. So when bonds sell off, so when people are dumping bonds and selling bonds, the yields go up. So here, everybody, we have the FTX Arena. This is where the Miami Heat play. Beautiful tonight. Yeah, Jonathan says income producing properties. Yeah, I think it's a good idea if you're in the market to buy a single family home, if you could have somebody else subsidize your cost of living, maybe you get a roommate, or maybe you just Airbnb it sometimes. I think that's probably a good idea as well. Hey, Carol H is here. Says, hi, Tom. Did you find your home through some application internet site? Can you share which? So I have a really good friend that has been in the real estate industry for a while now in Miami. And I was looking for quite some time. As you guys know, I was looking for a house probably 4 or 5 years before I pulled the trigger. And the reason why I pulled the trigger on this particular place is because this is the one location where I bought my property where it's actually in a flood zone X. And flood zone X essentially means it never floods. So throughout all the hurricanes in Miami's history, this particular plot of land has never flooded, not one time. Hey, we got photos from around New York here. It says, hola, hola, what is up, photos? Just in time for the Metro mover right here. Francisco GM says, there's not a lot of people in the streets. Why? So this is downtown Miami. So this is mainly residential apartment buildings and offices. And it is Monday night. And usually Monday nights are extremely, extremely dead. So there's not many people in this particular area. Usually at all nights of every week, if you go to South Beach, that is when the majority of people are out. But here there's a lot of office buildings and things like that. Residential apartment buildings. So not many people are in downtown Miami now. It's sort of like if we were to do a walk at night through Lower Manhattan, where a lot of the people just live, not a lot of shops, things like that. Hey, Thiago is here. What's up, Thiago? Charlie Richardson is here. The Swan is here. What's up, Swan? Good to see you. Michael says everyone is watching college football. Jonathan Francis, did you buy a single family home or a townhome? So I bought a single family home, Jonathan, but I did get it legally zoned for a 2-family. I did get my house legally zoned for a 2-family. So my thought process is, if my mortgage is roughly, $1,350 to $1,400 a month, and I can have a tenant pay me at least $1,400 a month, essentially the tenant is subsidizing my cost of living, and over, let's say, 25 years, the house to me is completely free, right? So that is one good way of buying real estate and building wealth via real estate, is sucking it up when you're young, living with a roommate, finding a tenant, and having your tenants pay off your mortgage for you. Yogi says, hey Tom, been watching your streams for a while now. Hope you get flood insurance ASAP. So I think it's mandatory. In Southern Florida to have flood insurance, but I am in flood zone X. Cynthia Beal says, Tom, did you pay to have it rezoned? I did not. Two Wheel Freedom says, the street you're on is nice and clean. Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed about Miami is the streets are very, very clean. Hey, everybody, we have a new subscriber here. Jane's is new subscriber from Wisconsin. Jane, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the chat. And Jane, on this channel, we split our time between Miami and New York City. And we live stream about 5 days a week and talk about pretty much anything, finance. We have a great group of people here. So everybody, this is our first stop on the stream today. This is the Paramount Miami World Center. You're gonna see some amazing cars, pretty cool people. So we'll continue on our walk. Hey, Bitsmag TV, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate it very much. Sam Pod says, if you get a bad tenant, being a landlord can be a nightmare. Very, very good point. Very good point. So we are walking right outside the Paramount Hotel. I mean, not hotel. I think this is only residences here. Very beautiful, very cool place. It's very clean, love it. Yeah, Miami is definitely a very clean city, much cleaner than New York City, in my view. But that being said, we do have a brand new mayor in New York City. And I am very, very optimistic. So I think that's a Rolls Royce. I'm not a big car guy, but I believe that is a Rolls Royce. There's always some cool, we always have people in the chat that want to see cool cars and things like that. Hey, David says it is warmer here. That is true. Sam Pod says, make sure to choose your tenants wisely, Tom. I will. I'm definitely going to have a good vetting process. Yogi says, my neighbor just sold his house for $1.1 million. Bought it 21 years ago for $209,000. Rented it out for $3,500 over the last 5 years. Wow, God bless. T and Me TV is here. What's up, T and Me TV? Good to see you. Jason says, long time no see. Yeah, Jason, long time no see. Tortellini says, Tom, rent out your garage as a second home. So, fun fact, I don't have a garage. Hey, Lily's here. What's up, Lily? What is up, Lily? Thiago's here. What's going on? I just want to, if I miss your comment, everybody, I do apologize. So I was speculating, I think the number one reason why New York City tends to be a little bit more dirty is because we don't really have that many alleyways to put garbage and trash, unfortunately. And I think if we keep walking up, we will hit Wynwood, which is a beautiful art and design district here in Miami. We haven't streamed from there before, but we will stream from there during the day this week because I want to show everybody all of the beautiful artwork. We've never got a chance to see the artwork as of yet. James N. ATX says, how does the cost of living there compare to New York City? So surprisingly, the cost of living in Miami is roughly the same, if not more expensive than New York City at times, if that's even possible. Miami is becoming expensive. I think that the rental market in Miami is one of the most expensive rental markets in the entire United States. And anybody, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely think I'm correct on that. Jason says, how is all of us doing? All is blessed and well. Well, good to see you. I hope you're doing well too. Chris says, Tom, I had to check out my foot today. Not going back to work yet. So you were stuck with me. Good vibes. Well, please get well soon. I know you've been having an issue with your foot, so please get well soon. I'm not sure what kind of color this is. It's sort of like a bluish turquoise. Yeah, Jonathan says red state. Possible. Hey, Gigi is here. What's up, Gigi NYC? Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. Control Cam says, sadly, most of those cars will be repoed. Oh my God. Let's not say that too loud. Control Cam, what's up, man? I think somebody told me that you are I forget the channel. But Control Cam is a moderator on a very cool live channel. Estelle says, thanks for showing us around. No problem, Estelle. So I'll give you one last look at the Paramount World Center in Miami. Edson is here, says, hi Tom, how's it going? What's up, Edson? Cynthia Beal says it's the metallic blue color. Tortellini is here. Photos from around New York says it looks like a Mylar wrap on the outside. What's up, Yogi? Hey, Sanjeev is here, says, good evening, Tom. Good evening, Sanjeev. Death 11 says, Tom, what happened to the IBM stream? It's in the works. Don't worry, the IBM stream is in the works. So we are gonna do an in-depth analysis on the new business segment and structure of IBM. And that is coming very, very soon, but I really wanna get it right because I'm actually gonna be writing an entire thesis on IBM very soon that I will share with you guys. Hey, Edson says, good to see you, my friend. What's up, Edson? Jonathan Francis must be close to an airport. So the closest airport here is Miami International. Talvish says, hey Tom, how are you tonight? I'm doing very, very well, Talvish. I hope you're good. More to Life says, what do you think of Tesla? So we were talking about electric vehicles the other night. We were talking about electric vehicles. We were talking about GM and Ford. And I think that a lot of these EV companies are going to provide a lot of runway for a lot of the semiconductor companies, because if we think about in just one EV, in just one electric vehicle, there's about 2,000 chips, 2,000 chipsets in just one EV. So if we're thinking about a lot of the sectors in the economy that should continue to do well over the next couple of years, I think semiconductors is a pretty decent bet. And I think electric vehicles will fuel that demand. Tortellini says, anybody invest in ADA or Cardano? So Cardano is a cryptocurrency. I personally don't, but I know it is a very up and coming technology. I think the only cryptocurrencies that I have exposure to is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Sally says, beautiful view, Tom. What's up, Sally? Beyond the Matrix says, Miami has come a long way from the 70s and 80s. Hey, JA, this is kind of a random question, but what are your thoughts on NFTs, non-fungible tokens? I make some algorithmic art as a hobby, so am vaguely interested in the idea from an artist perspective, but curious from an investor perspective. So I think from an investor perspective, 90% of it is nonsense. Just to be very blunt, I tell it like it is. The vast majority of it's all hype and nonsense. But I do see value in having a sort of digital verification of digital property. I think that is an amazing use case for the long term. But this is nothing new, right? So anytime you have a new and emerging technology, all the time, 9 times out of 10, what you do is you have your first initial boom cycle. So you hear in the media, everybody's getting rich, everybody's making money. You know, your friends are saying, hey, why aren't you quitting your job to do NFTs? You know, I'm making so much money hand over fist, and everybody's bragging about how much money they're making. And that's usually the first wave of a bubble. That is usually the first wave and the first sign of a bubble. And then what happens after that, you have an incredible bubble burst where asset prices decline 90% plus. Things usually go sideways for about a year or two. And that's when the real technology is actually built and the infrastructure is actually built. And then you have the solid, good fundamental projects rise from the ashes. So that's what I think is going to happen with NFTs. But from an artist perspective, as a use case, if you're doing, if you're making artwork digitally, it is a great way to monetize and generate revenue for yourself. So I think that's great. Beyond the Matrix is the founder of ADA, is the co-founder of Ethereum. Bitsmeg says, for NFTs art, look for the big collectors. What they are buying for those people are hodlers. Interesting. Ricky Ticky says, you're back in Miami. I'm at New York City right now, and it is so cold. Wow. Well, hope you're enjoying New York City. Hey, Charlie Richardson says, I could imagine how sophisticated the firmware for those electric vehicle chips are. Yeah, so you know what, Charlie, you make a good point. I was reading an article about the company Polaris. And Polaris, they make the snowmobiles, the ATVs, all of that different kind of stuff. And in order for Polaris to meet the demand that they were having for their products and services, they've actually been shipping all of their products for the holidays without any sort of electronic displays because they don't have the semiconductors or the chips to actually fulfill the orders. Really crazy. Control Cam says, please see the Ferris wheel. Maybe we'll go there. Maybe we'll go there. Hey, William Travis is here, says hello. Yogi says, hey Tom, you think crypto's the new pyramid scheme, House of Cards? I think the vast majority of cryptocurrencies are pump and dump schemes, yes. But I think a utility like Bitcoin has a store of value play there, where I think it'll act as a digital gold. But many of the alternative coins I think are scams, in my opinion. Hey, More to Life says 16 degrees here in Plainsville, Ohio. Good to see you, More to Life. That does sound pretty cold, Plainsville, Ohio. Hopefully things warm up a little bit. Chris says, Tom, it's 72 degrees here in Arizona. Hey, William Travis is here. What's up, William? VV says, Tom, should I buy NVIDIA or Taiwan stocks? So I'm assuming you're talking about Taiwan Semiconductor. So I can't advise on which particular security to buy, but what I will tell you is this. If you want exposure to the semiconductor market, but you're not sure which semiconductor company specifically to invest in, what you can do is you can buy an ETF that tracks the semiconductor industry. So you will get a broad-based exposure to all semiconductors. That's also another way to do it. Hey, War Walker says it's freezing in New York City now, bone chilling. War Walker, you're in New York? I didn't know that. But More to Life, what I will say is that if you want more in-depth and granular financial information, that can be found in the newsletter that I did just send out. So if you want to read that, check it out. NMB045 says Bitcoin stands out from the other cryptos from the fact that it cannot be confiscated. Yes. So Bitcoin is unconfiscatable wealth. And that is why I have allocated a portion of my overall portfolio to crypto assets. Hey, Jared says Polaris RZR ATVs are a blast. Yeah, I mean, Polaris came out and said, look, you can buy our brand new equipment, but it's not going to ship with any of the electronics. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Photos from Around New York says no altcoin, no AMC stock, and no GameStop. Agreed. Photos from Around New York says Canon had to send out their ink cartridges without the reader that identifies the true Canon ink cartridge. Interesting. So these are all the electric scooters that you could rent to drive around Miami. Hey, everybody, look who we have. It is the one, the only, Shot by Scott. Says, hello, Tom, and Wall Street Walks fam. Scott, what's up? Scott, I saw you were in Sunny Isles today. I was so jealous. I was getting hounded with work. I was like, should I come to Sunny Isles today? I'm like, nah, I gotta focus. And the sidewalk is closed, so we will cross the street. So I believe this is the construction site of the brand new Waldorf Astoria building. And supposedly it is going to be the tallest residential apartment building south of New York City. And if anybody wants to take a look, if you Google Waldorf Astoria, Miami, the pictures are insane. I think I posted some of the pictures up on my IG, if you want to check it out. You know what, I'm not sure if this is the construction site of the Waldorf Astoria. It may be a couple blocks down, but the photos from it are insane. You have to check it out. Cynthia Beal says, Tom, will you ride the e-scooter? So I need to figure out how to get access to them first. I think I need to download an app on my phone. More to Life says, what do you think about buying gold and silver for wealth preservation? So here's what I'll say about that. And I think More to Life, I think you bring up a good point. Let's take a step back and look at the global macro view about what's going on. In the United States, you know what? Not even just in the United States. Globally, we are in a debt-based monetary system where in order for things to continue on, unfortunately, it requires the in perpetuity perpetual debt creation cycle. So at one point in time, and I don't know when that is, and I don't think anybody does. If anybody tells you they know, they're lying. This will all end. Asset prices will crash 90% to 100%, literally. And my thesis is when that happens, money is just going to be transferred to anti-debt units. And that is anything from precious metals, in my opinion, Bitcoin or Ethereum, some specific cryptocurrencies. And that is going to mark the risk-off environment. But I don't think we're there yet. But I think as a portion of a well-diversified portfolio, I think physical silver and physical gold is probably quite rational to have. So here's another look at the Freedom Tower. Hey, Raj is here. Rodriguez, what's going on? The Swan. What's up, the Swan? War Walker says, yep, I sure is at LaGuardia now. Very cool. Awesome. You know, maybe since we're here, I know we went here last night, but maybe we'll just do a quick lap around. We'll see the Ferris wheel. I think a lot of people want to see the Ferris wheel, and then we'll head out. I want to check out the River Walk tonight, though, for everybody. At least I think that's what it's called. David says America will mess the world up. Yeah, so there's an old saying on Wall Street that if the US economy gets sick, the rest of the world will automatically catch a cold. And I think that's still true. And I think you may be able to say the same thing about, well, I'll hold that thought for now. Beyond the Matrix says, Tom's, what's your take on physical silver? So once again, I think it's probably quite wise to hold a little bit of physical silver, just because once the market environment turns from risk on, which it is right now, to a risk off environment, I think cash is going to make its way into those physical assets. Because people have to understand one thing. Cash just doesn't go to money heaven, right? Cash is funneled around the world into different segments of the economy, different assets. And right now, ever since the lows of 2008, this has been a risk-on environment for equities. This has been a risk-on environment for real estate. That's going to end at some point. I don't know when it will end, but when it does end, you're going to see cash leave the stock market. You're going to see cash leave real estate, and it's going to get pile drived into commodities and other different things like that. And that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's 100% going to happen, but that is just my opinion. So this is Bayside here. We were here yesterday for a brief moment. Seemed like there's a lot of people here on a Monday night, which is quite surprising. But again, the real estate market is very predicated on interest rates. As of right now, we still have relatively low interest rates. So once we see rates start to move up, you know, you could see sizable declines in the housing market, but I don't think that's anytime soon. So here we are at the Ferris wheel. Hey, Andre is here. What's up, Andre? David says it keeps people in work. What's up, David? James Massetti says instead of the dollar, oil should be bought in British pound, as it is stronger than the dollar. Interesting. David says, so you need... David says tax the billionaires, AIRS. Beyond the Matrix says hopefully Brandon gets impeached soon. Cynthia says pretty reflection. Yeah, this is a pretty reflection over the water here. Sam says, Tom, can you go to the Ferris wheel? Indeed we will. We'll take a look. Hey, Hunter says this is cool. I live near Coral Gables, so it's nice to see places I am not familiar with to explore. Hey, Hunter, good to see you. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. Rodriguez says hello from Venezuela. Very cool. Shop by Scott says, yeah, Tom, I live in Sunny Isles. I only leave to go to Wynwood these days. Occasionally Boca and Brickell, but traffic is gridlocked, so it's discouraging. Yeah, and Scott, you're not a big bus guy, right? You don't really like to take the bus. So for me, I just take the bus. But then again, maybe since I'm from New York City, I'm a little bit more accustomed to public transit than maybe the average Miamian. Is that what they call you guys, Miamians? Is that a thing, or did I just totally pull that out of thin air? If I did, I apologize. Sunshine New York says we're passing my yacht. Bonneville says hi from Poland. Welcome everybody from Poland. George is here, says Tommy, theft auto character. Jonathan Francis, in 1981, interest rates were 18% on new vehicles. Isn't that crazy? So Jonathan, we were actually talking about that same exact thing. So back in the day, you know, when my grandmother was my age, and probably even a bit after that too, you know, if you just had a regular job, you were working hard, you were making a decent wage and an income, and you were just saving your money in a bank, you know, some bank accounts were yielding, you know, 8 to 10%. You could become a multi-millionaire just off of saving your money in a bank because rates were so high. Now, you know, factoring in for inflation, if you take all of your wages and just save it in a savings account or in a checking account, you're losing money after inflation. So the Federal Reserve forces risk in the market. And that's why I always use the terminology risk on in the market. Because when interest rates are low, it forces investors to search for yield. So investors globally will hunt for yield. And that usually means money will flow into the equities market. Hey, Russell is here. What's up, Russell? Sunshine New York says facts. Yeah, photos from around New York says 8 to 10%. Yeah, back in the day, if you saved your money in a savings account, you could actually get some yield on that. But now, it's really impossible. Thank you for being here. It's a beautiful night in Miami. 007 says Waldorf Astoria architectural renders look sweet, trying to defy physics. Yeah, so a lot of people are sort of torn on whether they like the architecture or not. But for anybody who doesn't know what it looks like, if you just Google it, it sort of looks like a bunch of cubes stacked on top of one another. So a little bit bizarre, but more ultra luxury apartment buildings going up in Miami. The same thing is happening in New York, which is really crazy. So this is the Ferris wheel. I would go on it, but I'm deathly afraid of heights. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But there's a very good view of downtown Miami here. So we'll come over here and I'll show you guys. You can see the Paramount building, museum building, 1000 Museum, I believe. Yeah, Cynthia Beal says, Tom, I also fear heights. Russell says, I helped build that town. Awesome. Francisco GM says, most of the people don't wear masks. For me is great. Ruby Falcone says, yeah, miss me with heights. No thanks. Yeah, I just can't do heights. I don't know why. I just can't do heights. So I was taking an interesting psychology class in college. And I'm not sure if this is true or not, but my professor, he said, for the vast majority of people, if you are afraid of heights, it's not the heights that you are afraid of. It's the fear that you may jump from those heights. And it got me thinking, and I'm not sure if that's true, but it's a little bit of a mind bender there. What do you guys think? Hey, Cynthia Martinez says, is it safe? Just here for Tom. What's up, Cynthia? I think it's safe. Cynthia Beal says Tom goes on the wheel, then gets stuck in midair, and we all leave him in midair. No way. Hey, Days Work says, come on, Tom, take one for the team and go on the wheel. Dude, I don't think so, man. Not happening. Hey, Boston Golden says, man, Miami is such an awesome place. No wonder Ocasio-Cortez couldn't resist. Yeah, so AOC was down here vacationing, I believe. And I also believe Nancy Pelosi just bought an amazing house here in Miami, Florida. Or was it Fort Lauderdale? I forget. But regardless, the house that Nancy Pelosi bought is absolutely gorgeous. So congratulations, Pelosi, on the new house. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous house. And hopefully the sea levels won't rise too much. Just kidding, guys, just kidding. So here we are, sunshine after rain. This is your boat here. More to Life says, fear of heights is real. And I am concerned if I get stuck, how am I gonna get down? That's true. Will P says, might be some truth to that. Russell says, jump in the water. GGMYC says, I'll have a panic attack if I go that high. Hey, 48 is here from New Zealand. Welcome from New Zealand. Says, it was very sad to hear about the apartment fire in the Bronx, New York. My heart goes out to all the families there. Yeah, it was just a tragedy what happened. And I believe the fire was unfortunately started by a space heater, which is not good. Beyond the Matrix says Pelosi should be investigated for insider trading. We were talking about that not too long ago on the stream. Carmen says, wow, those views, Tom. Hooray, Monday. What is going on, Carmen? Good to see you. Flexstream says Pelosi paid a cool $25 million for that mansion. I know. Isn't that amazing to be able to afford $25 million mansion? Crazy. Hey, Sammy says, are you near Bayside? We are taking a little walk through Bayside tonight. K8 Paul says, I wish I was there. I'd go up on the wheel for you. Thank you for that. Susan says, many are guilty of insider trading. Yeah, Susan Engels, I think you're right. And we actually dedicated a stream to that. We were saying that, in my opinion, I think that if you are a member of Congress and you are actively making the laws for this country, you should not be allowed to actively trade in stocks. That is my view. But I do agree with the fact that you should be able to participate in the stock market through a low-cost index fund that tracks a broad-based index or one of the major stock market indices. But if you are actively making laws and, legislation, I do not think that you should be able to trade individual stocks. Because, for example, this year the government just approved a bill to spend more money on cybersecurity infrastructure, which I think was the right thing to do. But then some Congress members, such as Nancy Pelosi, turned around and bought a bunch of call options, which are derivative products in the market, on a suite of cybersecurity stocks like CrowdStrike, Zscaler, and the like, and made big money. I'm talking about thunder money. But good for her, but I think it's a little bit unethical. But that is just my opinion. And it's not just Nancy Pelosi that does it. It's almost every single member of Congress that does it as well. So I'm Hey, John L., what's up? We're here at Bayside, and we will walk back and out tonight. Hey, Sally's here. This is a beautiful view. Tom, what's up, Sally? Good to see you. Susan Ingalls says I go on that Ferris wheel. Sam. Vinny Castellano from Staten Island says, what's funny, Tom, is the taxpayers are the ones that paid for Miss Nancy Pelosi's $25 million home. Yeah, it is quite ironic, I guess. I think you do make a good point. Well, I never really looked at the view from this angle. That's an awesome view when people are sitting down. You can enjoy the skyline of downtown Miami. Hey, Cristobal is here. What's going on, Cristobal? Beyond the Matrix says, Tom, I love the vibe. Sammy says, beautiful view. Creative Crosser says, wow, it looks busy. Obama says, AK did a video of the wheel. I was actually just watching that 2 days ago. Funny you said that. Yeah, so this is Monday night. So Monday night is usually not as busy for obvious reasons. But there does seem to be some people out. Alexandria is here. Says, good evening, Tom. What is up, Alexandria? Good to see you. I hope you're well. Tonight we were talking about interest rates. Very important to keep our eye on that 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. But tonight, everybody, I wanted to also briefly touch on growth stocks. So as we know, growth stocks across the board have been taking a pretty bad beating. I think this is a Doge. Is this Doge, I believe? Or Shiba Inu, I think. Love those dogs. So as we know, a lot of the growth stocks have been taking a pretty bad beating. And I believe this is due to the fact that the market is pricing in interest rate hikes. But what we saw today is something very important that we need to pay attention to, and that is called a downside or upside reversal. And on Mondays, usually when the market gaps down and then rallies hard throughout the day on higher than average volume, that does signal a short-term bottom in the market. Now, I'm not saying the market is bottom, but I would not be surprised that this week we have a major rally in growth stocks. So usually whenever we have that upside reversal day, it does signal to investors that there is a short-term bottom in the market and that we will be going higher, at least for the short term. Now, one other thing to note about that is since all of the major growth stocks are under the 200-day moving average, that 200-day moving average is now going to act as resistance. So what we need to watch out for are growth stocks rallying into the 200-day moving average and getting turned away and rolling right back over. So if you guys want to really understand and visualize what I mean in this week's Behind the Street newsletter, I've posted some charts, some infographics from the Bloomberg terminal and from MarketSmith so you guys could really get a good visual about what I'm talking about. Hey, Alan Wilson is here. What's up, Alan Wilson? Says, good evening, everybody. Good to see you, Alan. No way. Is it really Sunshine's birthday today? If that's true, let's get a happy birthday, Sunshine in New York in the chat. So happy birthday, Sunshine New York. Great moderator on the channel. Yeah, Shot by Scott says, Tom, I love the public transit in New York City, but Miami buses have a ways to go unless you avoid rush hour. So true. So this is Pier 5. Hey, Annie says, hi everybody from Ghana. Hey, what's up, Annie? We have a lot of viewers from Ghana, surprisingly. Sam says, retail REITs are cheap, time to get in, question mark. So the only REITs that I've ever had exposure to are not physical real estate REITs. They're actually technology REITs or cloud computing REITs. And you can think about an Equinix, something like that. Cloud computing REITs are probably the highest margins. Hey, how are you? Probably the most highest profit margins and generates the most amount of free cash are those technology and data center REITs. Hey, James Davidson says, hi, Tom. They got a live stream going in New York City too. Very cool. Love New York. I'll be back in New York the last week of January, unfortunately. And I say unfortunately because I wanted to delay the amount of time that I spend in New York this month. I wanted to move around some of my meetings to go back to New York in February, but it looks like I need to be back in New York the last week of January, which is not ideal, but you know, we'll just have to make do. Hey, Ruby Falcone says, happy birthday, Sunshine, New York. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Sunshine. David says, let's see the world go bankrupt and we could all go back to equality. Interesting point. I'm not sure I agree with that. Rolly Cannoli says, how did the Dow finish with the best Friday? So I think the Dow was the only indice that was up. The NASDAQ had a bad week, sold off, was down about 4%. And the reason for that is because I think there's a flight to quality, flight to safety. Usually when in an environment where interest rates are rising, you'll see more of the fund flows or more of the liquidity flow into, you know, stocks like McDonald's, the financials. So big week of earnings today, or this week on Wall Street. Friday kicks off a big earnings season here on Wall Street. JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, all the financials are reporting earnings, and they should be doing pretty good now that interest rates are going back up. Dutchman says, Tom, happy Miami Monday. What is up, Dutchman? Good to see you. The Austin Tennis says, good evening, Tom. How was your Monday? Austin Tennis, my Monday was very good. What about you? The Austin Tennis is our pal from PagerDuty. Dan McLaren says, how can Congress get away with insider trading? Like you mentioned, seems easy to punish with penalty of evidence. So technically, it's not insider trading. That is the main point. Technically, it is not insider trading. Because insider trading is if you get a tip from somebody that knows insider information about a specific stock from somebody that works at that company. So the loophole is, you know, if Congress is just talking about increasing, let's say, infrastructure spending, that's technically not related to the financial markets. So in order for them to be persecuted or something like that, there needs to be a revision in the laws. So technically it's not insider trading, but really, you know, everybody knows it is. Hey, Eric says, hey, Tom, I subscribed to your newsletter, but only got issue number 9. Does it arrive in my email automatically, or do I have to apply for each issue? No, it should be sent out. But I've been hearing from a lot of people that it has been getting sent to their spam or junk folders. So please make sure you check your spam or junk folder. But it has gone out. The issue has gone out. Sunshine, New York says, Miami is gorgeous. Good to see you, Sunshine. Chill Beats the Chill is here. Says, what do you prefer, long-term investment, but sure profit, or short-term and more profit, but not sure? So usually things work quite the opposite of that. Usually the way things work is that over time, if you increase your time horizon, your probability for a profit goes up exponentially, especially if you're limiting your buys to companies that have extremely good earnings. For example, I believe in 2013, Google's full year earnings per share, or EPS, was around 19 bucks. So think about that. In 2014, Google, ticker symbol GOOGL. Ooh, I thought this truck was gonna jackknife here. That guy came in hot. Gotta slow down. Google's full year earnings per share was about 19 bucks. For 2022, analysts estimate that Google's gonna make $130 per share in EPS. Like, that is explosive earnings growth right there. Eric says, thanks, love your walks, very informative, and I think that dog early was a Shiba Inu. I love it, and I have one myself. Those are my second favorite dogs ever. The Doge, the Shiba Inu. But my first number one favorite is Beagles. A big Charlie Brown fan, big Peanuts fan. But Eric, good to see you and thank you for watching. Austin Tennis says, how is the cloud server performance on the 24-hour stream? So it's performing okay, but what I want to do for the 24-hour live stream, everybody, is it's on a 6-hour continuous loop. So for anybody who doesn't know, if you go to my channel, you'll notice a 24-hour New York City skateboarding live stream. And that is going to be up all the time. But what I'm trying to do is every 2 weeks, I'm going to be continuously filming new content, and it will automatically replace the old content every 2 weeks, so people aren't just looking at the same thing. So that is what I'm trying to do. It is in beta testing mode right now. Hey, Neil is here. What's up, Neil? Neil says, hey, Tom and chat. The Austin Tennis says, did you meet any more Zoom Info account executives today? Too funny. Not today. So these are all the rental scooters here that you could rent in Miami. Ron TV says, how do you stream for 24 hours? So you could either rent a VPS, and VPS stands for Virtual Private Server, or you can convert your own computer into a server and just run it 24/7. But that's probably going to do a lot of damage to your computer. Hey, Alberto's here. Says, hey, my friend, how are you? What's up, Alberto? Always good to see you. Always a pleasure. David says, we like to live a nice life, says David. So do I. Sam says, Tom, the truck driver is drinking Monster, and he's delivering it as well. Hey, Lady O is here. What is up, Lady O? Hope you're enjoying the icy cold weather in New Jersey. Eric says, every time I see those scooters on your walks, I think of the South Park episode. Funny. But good to see you, Lady O. Lady O is our good moderator from New Jersey. And I see Neil here. What's up, Neil? Hey, Gustavo says, hi, Tom. Greetings from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Susan Ingalls says, Beagles are by far the best. I agree. So everybody, real quick, let's just do a quick survey in the chat. What is your favorite breed of dog? I know this is kind of off topic, but I'm curious. So feel free to post it in the chat what your favorite breed of dog is. Running at altitudes is a Tesla owner says he makes $800 a month mining cryptocurrency with his car. Interesting. Samantha J says, Boston Terrier, buy the books as a lab. I used to have a yellow lab. Donna B says, rescue dog. Amen. If you're going to get a dog, make sure you rescue it. Jonathan Francis, Labrador. NBF says, boxer. Love boxers, dude. Rodriguez says, golden retriever. Love golden retrievers. SCGT says, border collie. Those are good dogs. NG says, German shepherd. Love them. Fierce dogs. D says, Saint Bernard. Edwin says, basset hound. Ooh, the rundown says Dachshund. That is such an underrated dog. Otto says bulldog. Jerry says Chihuahua or pug mix. I'm seeing a lot of German shepherds. Eric says Shiba Inu, obviously, because he's got one. Vinny Castellanos is my pit bull. Pit bulls are adorable too. Cynthia Martinez says, would you ask Tom? That's ridiculous. Angie says, who am I kidding? I love all dogs. True. The Swan says, I like the Cross Labrador. So we're looking at the Intercontinental building here. Dre A says, tuning in from Belize again. Hey, and stay safe. Hey, what's up? Belize, very cool. Just in time for the Metro Mover from Belize. We'll have to take a trip on the Metro Mover one day. So speaking of Zoom Info ticker symbol ZI. That was also another one of those growth stocks today that originally got hit hard in the morning. So we had a gap down on Zoom Info, but we had thunderous volume come in during the end of the day. And Zoom Info closed at the dead high of the day. Another very, very high beta growth stock that is now down 40% from its all-time highs that may be trying to form a bottom here is Atlassian. And Atlassian is an Australian software company. The CEO is Michael Cannon-Brookes. And Atlassian rallied 10% today from its lows. So one of the things that a lot of investors will look at is they'll take a day like today and say, oh, you know, Atlassian's only up 3%. You know, it had an okay day. But if you actually watch the price action of today, the gap down for Atlassian was so brutal and shook so many people out, and it rallied 10% in a day. That's like 50 points. That's a big, big move in the stock. And that is a signal institutions are starting to nibble again in growth stocks. Hey, everybody, we have the one and only Brittany McMurdy. What's up, Brittany? Good to see you, Brittany McMurdy. What is up? Sam Pod says German Shepherd are smart dogs and loyal. Agreed. Lachey says hi there. New here watching from Vermont. Love the city of Miami. Well, Dion Lachey, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. We live stream 5 days a week around New York City and Miami. So feel free to join the channel. We talk about all types of things from finance to technology. And we'll be streaming 5 days a week. Shop by Scott says, I saw where you can easily lease your own bird scooter and they'll do all the maintenance, etc. And it's not geofence, just pay every month and it stays active. So I wonder how much that costs, Scott. Obama says, I love Claremont, New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire's beautiful. Live free or die. New Hampshire, live free or die indeed. Love it. Sarah F says, are you near the W Hotel by chance? Yeah, Sarah, we'll take a little walk around the W Hotel because I think we have to go here and down in order to do the river walk, I believe. Mr. O is here. What's up, Mr. O? I always like to look at the palm trees here. Amazing. Metro, Ron TV Metro says, what indications do I need to see if a company is good for an investment? Well, the number one thing is the fundamentals. So you want to look for a company that is generating a lot of free cash over time. And you also want to look for a company that is compounding out its annualized growth rate 25% per annum. And this is why a lot of analysts on Wall Street will run discounted cash flow models. Because finance is all about discounting cash flows into the future. And that's why interest rates are very, very important when taking into consideration investments. Hey, Lachey says, I wonder what the temperature is there right now. It's 19 degrees here. So I believe, well, today I could tell you with certainty it was about 78 degrees and bright sunny here in Miami, which was a major change from New York City. Beautiful. Hey, Colin, what's going on? It says on January 1st, it was negative 42 degrees Celsius here. Yeah, that's too cold for me. I couldn't do that. Or I'm hibernating. So everybody, this is right outside of the brand new Aston Martin building. Hey, David says, are they reliable and are they going to stick around? So I'm not sure. I've never been on one of the electric scooters before. Hey, James, the 78 degrees sounds great right about now. Hey, Judy D says, hi, Tom and everybody. Oh, it's beautiful there this evening. What's up, Judy? Good to see you. I hope you're well. So this is directly right outside of the Aston Martin building. So Shot by Scott is in the chat, so I'll ask him. Scott, is this thing gonna be all lit up, beautiful colors when it's done, or is it just gonna be Paramount building? I hope they make it like the Paramount building. Wow, check out the view from here, everybody. So we are gonna walk right here and take a little lap around right there. Francisco GM says, Tom, I love your English because I don't speak English at 100%, but I listen to you and I understand most of what you say. Very clear. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, Ron TV Metro says, I love the reflections of the water. So I wonder how much like a 1-bedroom apartment costs right here. I would imagine probably $5,000. Yeah, Shot by Scott says, I'm sure it'll have some sick accent lighting. Yeah, photos from around New York, I think you're right. I think it's gonna have an amazing pool at the top. So speaking of financial earnings on Wall Street, this is the Citibank building, and they are reporting earnings on Friday. So I think I said this yesterday, but I'll give everybody a quick tip for earnings season. So as we know, all of the major financials kick off Q4 earnings on Friday. But the number one piece of information that I always pay attention to when looking at financial earnings is the credit card and debit card spending data, because that is a proxy for the US economy. Consumer spending, if consumers are spending, they're buying products and services, that usually means other industries or other companies in different industries are going to do well in addition to financials. So I think this is a Bentley truck, I believe. Lady O says, Tom, you're going to miss the single-digit weather tonight in New Jersey. Yikes. Well, Lady O, you got to take a trip down to Miami with the family. James says, even in New York City, it gets crazy warm due to global warming. The Austin Tennis says, Tom, do you have any prospecting tips? So that I do. So the Austin Tennis, the number one thing that you need to do, and I know that you're starting out in enterprise software sales, you got to really try to identify one big company in your market. So let's say healthcare space. Let's say you're selling into the healthcare space. What you want to do is you want to spend all of your time prospecting one very large big account. And what you want to do is you don't want to try to sell them on anything. What you want to do is you want to act as their trusted advisor and their consultant. So now the client will trust you and it'll get your foot in the door to make connections, right? That's the main thing that you want to do in sales, is get connections, because the vast majority of the biggest deals that I've closed over my career has not been from me prospecting the deal. So think about how crazy that is. Over my you know, I'm 26 now, but I started as an account executive when I was 22 years old. No, before, when I was 20. The largest deals that I've closed were not from me actively prospecting those customers. They were all from referrals. So if you can take care of your clients, if you can become friends with them, they will refer other businesses to you. And you'd be surprised, you know, let's say if you're prospecting into, you know, chemical companies or manufacturing companies, those chief technology officers and CEOs of those manufacturing companies are going to know and network with other CEOs of other manufacturing companies. And they talk to each other. Even though they compete with each other, they do talk and they do know one another. And they will refer you as a trusted advisor if you do the right thing. So when you're a new account executive, don't focus so much on, I gotta win every deal and I gotta beat everybody over the head and make so much money. Focus on building 3 very good connections. Focus on getting to know 3 industry experts. That's what I would say. So the networking comes first over anything. All right, everybody, we are here again at the Wells Fargo Center. Photos from around New York says it's not what you know, it's who you know. Ron Metro TV says, Tom, what are your thoughts on multi-level marketing? Stay away from it. Shop by Scott says the photo gallery on their website shows the entire building glowing white among the sea of dimmer lit buildings around it, so it should be pretty cool. That's going to be awesome. I hope they make it all interesting colors, in my opinion. At least I hope they do. Hey, British Gray is here. Good evening, British Gray is joining us from the one and only Tampa, Florida. GGNYC says good advice. Yeah, it's all about your network. You really, really have to focus on networking. I know Tortellini says $5,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. I'd rather live in a tent. Well, Miami's expensive. Miami's getting crazy. It's just like New York. I never thought I'd see the day where Miami prices would be like New York. I really, really never thought that. Hey, Nicole is here. What's up, Nicole? Good to see you. So speaking of one of my favorite buildings in Miami, this is the City National Bank building right here. Always love looking at this building. NNB 045 says networking for me feels like trying to break a stone into millions of pieces. Some people just don't have the talent. Yeah, well, I think you just need to learn. You just need to I would say just try to at least talk to 10 new people every day. At least 10 new people every day. Yeah, Shop by Scott. I think this is one of my favorite ones too. Hey, Marilyn says, what do you think about the fallout will be once the rent moratoriums in New York City are lifted? So Marilyn, I was actually under the impressions that they were lifted in New York. Ah, wow. So Shop by Scott says you think the Aston Martin building is going to model this. I hope it does. That's going to be amazing. The color is going to be really wild if it does. Judy D says, yes, very pretty. So in the distance, you could see the Bank of America Tower. Francisco GM says, Miami City is amazingly beautiful. This is great. Now I understand why so many Chilean people visit Miami. Brad says, do you think it's worth it to work at a wholesale mortgage lender without a degree? Is it just me or is it like smoky here? I'm not too familiar with working in like wholesale mortgage. I can't really advise on that, and I know that's a really terrible answer, but I'm not going to try to give you an answer if I'm not too experienced on the industry. And it really just depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you like the business, I would do it. Francisco GM, thank you for saying that. Yeah, photos from around New York says it looks hazy. It is coming out of this thing. It's pouring out of this thing. Whew. God. It feels like a fire. Man. It's like a fire, man. I hope everything's all right. It does not look normal. All right, so we are going over the bridge, and if you guys remember on last night's stream, we actually got to see the drawbridge go up. So I'll show you guys the skyline from the bridge. Yeah, Ladios, so hope it's not asbestos. This is one of my favorite views in all of Miami, right here from the bridge. You could see the boats and everybody dining outside. Cynthia Beal says, Tom, what is the name of the bridge? I'm actually not sure. Marcel says, I love Miami. Oh, look at this yacht coming under here, guys. Wow, this thing looks... Wow. I love how they have the lights. It really makes the boat pop. Wow, that's a great shot. Judy D says, I just checked and there's very cheap flights here. Yeah, so every time I fly back and forth between Miami and New York City, very seldom do I pay over $50. If you check JetBlue or Delta, a lot of the times you could get tickets for as little as 49 bucks one way. And that is flying directly in from JFK. Emilio J says, that's how you live right there. I know. Angela's Runnels says, wow, cool. Good to see you. Lost Cali says, now that's a boat party. George says, love this. So this is where we're going, everybody. This is the most beautiful view from here, and I want to take you guys right here on the stream tomorrow to watch the sunset. If you come here watching a sunset, it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind. Carrie F says, have you taken the boat over to Bimini for the weekend? I have not. Samantha J says, wow. Judy D says, I saw it's $20 from Detroit. Wow. And this is the Aston Martin building. Funny photos from around New York. Beyond the Matrix says, this looks like a Grand Theft Auto game. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. It does help out the channel a lot. Hey, Cynthia Beal says, so not as much as I'd like to. Usually during the day, it gets pretty hectic for me. So I'm usually working anywhere from 8 o'clock to once we start streaming, surprisingly. So here we have the W Hotel. where all the faces are. Gloria Mills says, isn't this the Brickell Avenue Bridge? I think so. I'm not sure what the bridge is called, to be totally transparent. Hey, Alex says, have you seen James and Carla? I have not, but I believe they just got here not too long ago. I think they got here last night. Tortellini says, I miss Vice City. Wow. So here we are at the W Miami. Running at altitude says, notice the first face has lights that act as eyes. Oh, this is Tesla. Does anybody know what model Tesla this is? I believe this is what, the X model? And we are here at the W Hotel. So let's try to walk down here. We haven't walked down here yet on the, the Model Y is running at altitude. Hey, Fresh Start is here. Says, Tom, how is your day doing? My day is doing very well. How is yours? Hey, Carolina Tom says, beautiful and just as busy on Monday night as it was on Sunday. Yeah, usually it's not that busy here in Miami on Sunday, but Saturday and the like are really, really busy here. Ooh, look at the contrast between the Aston Martin building and the clouds. Eve M is here. What's up, Eve M? Sam Pod says, this walk is a great stress reliever, Tom. Hey, thank you for that. Thank you for saying that. Hey, Angela, thank you for the $3 donation. Appreciate it very much. Oh, everybody. You're in luck. We're going to get to see the bridge go up again. You guys are in luck. And now we're going to get to see what the boat looks like from floor level. So this is pretty cool. Yeah, shot by Scott says, looks haunted. Ding, ding, indeed. I'm assuming that means this thing is going to go up now. Let's see. Fresh Start says, Tom, can we see the beach? So tomorrow I'm thinking of streaming either from Sunny Isles Beach or right here to watch the sunset, because the sunsets are killer. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like though. Oh, I think I spoke too soon. I don't think we're going to see the thing go up. It's me. I'm not too sure. Oh, Fresh Start. Thank you so much. Did I miss your super chat? I apologize, Fresh Start. The comments are just going so fast. But Angela, thank you so much for the $3. I really, really do appreciate that. Going up. Nice. So I think if we stick around here for a little bit, we'll see like a mega yacht come through here. But Angela Runnels says, you're welcome. Hey, thank you for joining. I don't think I've seen you here before, so really much appreciate you joining, and thank you for the donation. Gloria Mills says, Brickell Avenue Bridge in downtown Miami is a drawbridge. Hold on, let me back up a little bit. think's gonna come through here? Is it Jamie Dimon? Judy D says, cool, let's wait and see. Man, is this thing coming? I mean, the suspense is building up here. Oh, everybody. See this. This is what's coming through. They just had to raise it because this little sail right here. Sorry I hyped you guys up for nothing. Look at this little guy coming through. But he has such a high sail that they had to open the drawbridge for this thing. So a little bit of a buzzkill, but is that not hilarious? We were over here thinking, oh, this is going to be a massive yacht. There's going to be helicopters on the roof, and then we get this thing. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I do like the boat. I respect it. But that is funny. So much suspense for this. However, everybody, I'm not sure if you guys remember, 3 weeks ago, we saw a massive yacht, probably the most massive yacht I've ever seen in my life, coming right through here that had a helicopter on the roof. Does anybody remember that? Yeah, Lady O says, and dancing people on the decks. Yeah, Emilio J says, what if that is Jamie Dimon living modestly? Oh, well, you know, I guess we get a little bit of a yacht here. Ooh, check this out, everybody. I'm going to zoom in. Well, at least we're getting a little bit of a view here. Hey, I think I see Lady O in the back watching the stream. Thank you for that, Lady O. Yeah, Jonathan Francis, these boats are big money. I think I just saw lightning in the background too. The Austin tennises, I remember. All right, well, that was fun. See, I really want to take you guys here during the day because during the day, this place looks like an entirely different city. Ooh, and this is a pretty cool view of the SunTrust building here in downtown Miami. The Swan says, geez, I never knew people live like this. Hey, Fresh Start says, Tom, how far away are you from Interstate I-95? That I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that, actually. Yeah, Alexandria says, that little guy has my respect. It has my respect, too. So this is the Miami Circle. Glow Q says, let's go to Brickell. Laura. Yeah, Shot by Scott says, during the day, it's like when they turn the lights on at the club. At the end of the night, you're like, turn them back off. You know, Scott, I actually kind of like the city of Miami a little bit better when it's during the day. It just gives it a whole different vibe. It's really incredible. Hey, the Mighty Bulls here says, good evening, Tom and moderators. Oop, here we got the wind picking up, guys. Sorry about that. So I don't believe that they leave these palm trees like this year round, but I kind of wish they did. I think it looks a little bit better with the palm trees all lit up. So Cynthia Beale, I have not. Jose Sanchez says go for a swim. Right down here. Look at how low the tide is. This is like an insane low tide. So this is why I really want to take you guys here during the day. You'll be able to see just how amazing this place looks. So I'll try to get off work early tomorrow so we can stream here. Hey, Jack is here. What's up, Jack? Jack says 95 runs along the coast of Florida, so I would say you are a mile or less away from 95. Loose 72 is here. Says hi. Good to see you, Loose 72, as always. Toronto Props says hell of a hydro bill. I wonder if boats ever get, what is it called? Get grounded or stranded? I don't know the terminology. Check out this shot of the palm tree with the Christmas lights on it. So I think if we keep walking down, and if you look to your left, you're going to see the Miami Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Expensive hotels in Miami. And it's actually one of the most famous and most expensive hotels in New York City as well. In New York City is right there at Columbus Circle in the Deutsche Bank Towers, formerly known as the Time Warner Building. So I'll show it to you guys right here. And one day on the stream during the day, we are actually going to be skateboarding over this bridge, and the view is incredible. I can guarantee you that. So this is the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Beautiful. Hey, Andy is here. What's up, Andy? Hope you have a good night. Good to see you. Hey, Mike C is here. Says, do boats get charged for accessing the drawbridge? You know, that's actually a really good question, and I have no idea. But I think we have a Miami native shot by Scott here, so maybe shot by Scott. Andy says it's windy there, but still beautiful. Yeah, so we're supposed to be getting the mic today. Well, let me rephrase that. I do have the mic, but I went to the Apple store to get the adapter that I needed to plug in the microphone. And the guy told me, he's like, oops, sorry, we all ran out. So you're gonna have to come back another day. So I guess we'll come back tomorrow, and we should be streaming with the microphone tomorrow, assuming that the Apple store has what we need. Loose 72 says, wow, funny people don't really buy used mattresses, but will sleep on them. Interesting, Loose 72. Sally says, Tom, this is so beautiful. I have it here on my TV. Carolina Tom says, Tom, you're about 30 minutes by bus from Coconut Grove, and it's spectacular at night on the weekend. We're definitely going to do that. I think, Carolina Tom, you're probably, I think, the fourth or the fifth person that has told me to go to Coconut Grove. So we will definitely have to go to Coconut Grove. Hey, Marty Lewis says, hey Tom, watching here from 25 degrees. That's a little bit too cold for me. But New York has snow now on the ground, which is cool. Marty Lewis says it's very windy in Manhattan as well today. Loose 72 says, what about going to Key West? Yeah, we're definitely going to make our way to Key West too. It's just going to take a little bit to get there as we're getting settled in. Ooh, so check out, we are right behind the Bank of America Tower. Speaking of earnings, Sally says, Tom, the snow is all gone now in New York. Hey, Mil Gox is here. What's up, Mil Gox? Good to see you. I'll show you guys one more view of the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, and then we will head to Brickell. Hey, Laytha, sorry the Apple Store didn't have what you needed. Coconut Grove is worth the trip. Good to see you, Laytha, as always. Hope your week is off to a very good start. The Mighty Bull says, please hit the like button. Thank you, Mighty Bull. Hey, Lou Rodriguez is here. What's up, Lou? Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Marty Lewis says, this is a beautiful view, Tom. Marty Lewis, you should have saw the view about 20 minutes ago. We were on the bridge. It was amazing, amazing view. So I want to say this is a Cuban restaurant, perhaps? Maybe Cuban? Mike says, have you met any cartel members? Sam says, Tom, are you going to South Beach anytime soon? So you guys should see my email box. My email is lit up with people wanting us to go to South Beach, but we were just at South Beach over the weekend, but we will return there, I promise. Ooh, I think you're right. So Lady O says it sounds Mexican. But Rock Band 5 Million says, Tom, it's an Italian restaurant. Alright, so we're going to make our way out of here, but it's beautiful here. Elon Musk, I am not. But I do think semiconductor companies will continue to outperform the market. And just a quick rendition for people that are just joining. The Behind the Street newsletter has been sent out to everybody's inbox. So if you're wondering where the Behind the Street newsletter is, it was sent out today. And if you want to receive the Behind the Street newsletter, feel free to click the link in the description, or one of the moderators will drop the link and you can click it. The Nightbot will drop it, and you will be able to see where you could sign up for the Behind the Street newsletter. So this is a very, very ritzy place. It's called the Cipriani, next to the one on Wall Street, next to the Deutsche Bank. This is where a lot of big executives come to dine, to hang out. And as you can see, the environment inside is beautiful. I'm not sure if you could see through the reflection, but it is beautiful in there. Bread says fancy. Yeah, so this is the Cipriani here. Yeah, there's one right next to the Deutsche Bank. Sunshine New York says, I want to go there. Well, come on down, Sunshine. We'll have to hang out. Yeah, photos from around New York is so busy there on a Monday night. It's impressive. Orange Field says, wow, I'd like to dine there. Chuck says that place wouldn't let me in. It wouldn't let me in either. So here's another, I think Dave always loves when I show the supercars here. I think this is considered a supercar. Would you guys consider this a supercar? What is this, a Porsche? Something to that nature? And I believe behind it maybe is a Bentley, perhaps? Eric, that is the same restaurant I pointed out in New York last week, you're right. Very beautiful, very cool. The Austin Tennis is what was for dinner tonight. So Austin Tennis, I still haven't eaten dinner, but what about you? What do the old PagerDuty employers eat for dinner? Nicole says, I really don't like the look of the Porsches, but this is not so bad. Yeah, I'm not a big car person myself, but they do look really unique. Austin Tennis is like, we eat green eggs and ham. Over there, PagerDuty. Hey, Austin Tennis, PagerDuty got a little bit of a bid today too. PagerDuty is another one of those really richly frothy valuation companies that are in growth mode, but it seemed like you guys caught a little bit of a bid today. So as we were talking about on the stream, usually what signals short-term market bottoms is when on a Monday, stocks gap down, but they rally hard into the close. And that's what we saw today. We saw a lot of the high beta growth stocks that have been getting clocked week over week over week, hammered, drilled, pounded, week over week, starting to catch a little bit of a bid here. So we have to watch it as we move into the weekend. But if I had to put money on it, I think we are going to see a nice rally on Wall Street in the growth stocks, but that does not mean that this is a full bottom. It just means that this is an intermediate term bottom. So I believe this is Panther Coffee, and everybody has been telling me you have to try Panther Coffee when you come to Miami. I have yet to try it, but supposedly it's one of the best coffee shops in Miami. So Shop by Scott, you are a native to Miami. Would you say that is it Black Panther Coffee or is it just Panther Coffee? Yeah, Solo 401 says I'd rather a fast bike than a fast car. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right, Solo. You ride motorcycles, don't you? Don't you have a pretty nice collection of motorcycles? Jose Sanchez says, bro, how does your face look like? If you want to see what my face looks like, I believe I have a couple photos of my face up on my IG. Shop by Scott says that's a satellite location. The real deal is in Wynwood. Panther Coffee. Scott, let's try to make that happen over the weekend. I really, really want to see Wynwood. Benjamin Fowler says, does socialism work? In no circumstance does socialism ever work. Solo 401 says, yes sir, guns and motorcycles. Awesome, Solo. Gerald says your IG has photos with you with the mask. If you look hard enough, I think I have a couple photos there without a mask. Obama says, Peter, that can crush a Lamborghini. Well, I think the fastest cars on the market are Teslas. All right, now we are in Brickell. And we are going to be walking to Mary Brickell Village. Sunshine, New York. Brett says, I want to go to Miami. I want to go to Miami. So I will give my honest opinion of Miami. And I will say I was not expecting to enjoy Miami as much as I am. I really, really was not expecting that. The Mighty Bull says, do those trees have coconuts? Not all of them have coconuts, but I do have a coconut tree in my backyard that is quite amazing. Oscar Diaz, I think the Bugatti is considered the fast production car. The Austin Tennis says, what is crime like in Miami now? From a Miamian. I'm not too sure about the crime statistics. But I mean, coming from New York, I mean, my view is if you live in a big city, like New York, like Chicago, you're always gonna have crime. Like Miami, there's really not too much you could do about it, just as long as it's not like raging out of hand. Oscar Diaz says, by the way, hello all. What's up, Oscar Diaz? Good to see you. Metro says, 300 miles an hour. Okay. Hello from Russia, welcome. So on the channel we have a lot of Russian viewers as well as Brazilian viewers, so welcome everybody. Jose says, Tom, Jose, man. Jose says, Tom sounds pretty manly. Not at all. I think maybe one day when we do the face reveal, I think you guys are going to be extremely disappointed. Santo A says there's a lot of crime in Miami, just not this area. I think you could say the same about all cities. Wow. Colin says negative 30 degrees Celsius here. Shot by Scott says Sunny Isles East. So this is what I'm looking forward to when we go to Wynwood. Checking out all the amazing art here. Lady-o. So here's more scooters. These are the bird scooters. Sunshine New York says, Jose, it looks like Lou Ferrigno. So who is Lou Ferrigno again? Isn't he the, I know he's like some very famous movie star, but I forget exactly. He's like that big buff guy. He's something like that.
Attention, vehicle exiting.
Whew, that scared me.
Watch for vehicles. Attention.
So now we are entering the Brickell Mall. It's like sort of an outside mall area. That's a beautiful location here. Eric says he was the bodybuilder who played the Incredible Hulk on TV. Jack says it seems like you can walk off with the scooter. Well, I think the wheels are locked. I think the wheels to the scooter is locked. Hey, Roger, this is an old school bodybuilder. Oh, before I forget, everybody, so I did make a suggestion and I dropped a link for everybody because I get a lot of requests, you know, how can you manage and track all of the stock quotes for free throughout the day? So if you just go to tradingview.com, you could sign up and create an account for free, and you are able to track commodities, bonds, equities, really anything you want for absolutely 100% free. So in this week's Behind the Newsletter, I dropped a link where you guys could sign up. It's tradingview.com, and you are able to track any equity, any bond, any cryptocurrency for free throughout the day. It's a good charting software. Obama, what's going on? Hey, Bits is saludos from Nicaragua. What's going on? Pulse is also a neighbor of the character on King of Queens. I didn't know that. Hey, Toronto says you are an amazing commentator for sure. Hey, thank you. Otto says awesome, great tip. So now we are walking southbound on South Miami Avenue. Hey, Elizabeth is here. Says hello, Tom. What's up, Elizabeth? Good to see you. Good evening and happy Monday. A lot of viewers from Nicaragua. Welcome everybody from Nicaragua. Hey, Pulse is also the neighbor of the King of Queens character. Sammy says, what was the newspaper to track earnings? Should show it to us yesterday, I believe. Yes, Sammy. So that newspaper is called Investors Business Daily, or IBD. And you could pick it up at your local 7-Eleven or your local supermarket. And they'll probably just give it to you for free because nobody really reads the paper anymore. So we'll have a seat, we'll take a little bit of a break as I show you my two favorite apartment buildings in Miami. Judy D says just viewed TradingView, no problem. Charlie Richardson says, Tom, what's your current battery percentage? I believe I'm at 20%, so we should be going out pretty soon. Hey, Mount Up 716 is here again from Buffalo. This is a nice night for a ride, that's for sure. It looks beautiful. Good to see you, Mount Up. So we are across the street from the Apple store here in Brickell. Yeah, shot by Scott says AK style, get a drink of water. Austin Tennis says, do you use Outreach at your job every day? So Outreach, I believe, is a company that integrates well with Salesforce. And Outreach is another prospecting company. I do use Outreach, but I don't use it at my current setup situation right now. I do not use Outreach currently. Hey, Sarah F says, so Tom, when can we expect this disappointing face reveal? I don't know. How about this? I promise you I'll show my face every night on the stream pretty soon. I'll say it like that. Hey, Frank Sinatra says hello from Tampa, Florida. What is up? Newly residents from New York City. I am also a new resident in Miami, Florida from New York City. Hello, Miami, what's going on? So my phone is on 10% battery, so if you guys enjoyed the stream tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. But we'll continue to stream until we go out of battery here. Oscar Diaz says, I believe that sports car that passed by was a 2021 Corvette. Ladio says Tom will do a face reveal at 10,000 subs. Maybe. Maybe. The Austin Tennis says you could see Tom's face whenever there is a bull market. You just need to know where to look. Absolutely, I agree. There's always a bull market somewhere. You do just need to know where to look. Hey, Kevin Lee says, good evening. It's 10:06 p.m. at Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Welcome everybody from Brooklyn, New York. Hey, we have a lot of people watching from Lima, Peru. Welcome. Hope you're well. So you can see the KPMG building here. I know, would have been crazy if the battery just died as I said that. Hey, Sally says the stream was amazing, Tom. Always enjoy your streams. Thank you. We'll stream for 5 more minutes. Kevin Lee says, who are you betting on for the Super Bowl? I'm actually not even sure who is in the Super Bowl. I know that's embarrassing to say, but I'm not too good at following sports. Yeah, I'm not too good at following the sports. Sam says Kevin Buffalo. Is Kevin Buffalo in the chat? What's up, Kevin Buffalo? Good to see you. I mean, for a Monday night, Brickell Village does seem to still have a lot of people. Eric, you're right. This is the area where I got stopped last night. Somebody says, go Pack Go. So isn't there college football going on as well? College football? So this is an Italian restaurant, North Italia. But everybody, we will have to end the stream now because the phone is going to die. So thank you everybody, all the moderators for joining. I really do appreciate it. It's going to be a very busy week on Wall Street as we kick off earnings, the financial earnings. Let's keep our eye on that 10-year U.S. Treasury yield. And look out for the Behind the Street newsletter. It is sent out actually already to your inboxes. So thank you everybody. Victor Brown, appreciate it. Have a good night. I will see everybody tomorrow. And to the Mighty Bull, have a good night wherever you are, because there is always a bull market somewhere and you just need to know where to look. And I'll see you all in the next one tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Like the video if you enjoyed the stream, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one.